In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
Hey! It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, what is it, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, roll your ass!
Welcome to another episode of Raw and Order, the Wrestling Booking Unit, the only wrestling podcast on the planet that, this is true, almost forgot to press go live tonight while the countdown was running. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime fighting, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's up? That's all I got.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Also joining us for the first time, and it seems like forever. JLB,
Hey!
what's going on, man?
Hey, it goes good. It goes good. I'm glad to. It's been a hot minute. Thank you guys for allowing me to come back on. I've been not such a great co-host these past few weeks, and thank you for having me back. And
we took a silent vote. It was a very, very close vote.
I bet. But yeah, I'm here.
Within two.
No, you just barely made it back in. If two votes flipped, you wouldn't have been back, man.
That's fair.
That's how tight the margins were. We were so close.
Turns out you needed me back because you almost didn't go live. You almost didn't go live,
Somebody
and your boy
needed to remind me.
JLB was there to help you out. What can I say? You're welcome.
In fairness, I actually remembered before I saw your little private chat.
Not even gonna give me.
Because I was sitting here and like my brain was like, why don't I have a counter up in the corner that says live for whatever minutes? I haven't gone live.
Nope,
So,
that's fair. Well, we're live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're live, pal.
Sunday.
So this episode, we're gonna mostly 5 community sub gifts. What? What?
That dude.
Who's ready? Who's ready?
That's about it.
Who's ready? Come on, get in there. Anyways,
who's gonna snatch him up? We'll find out throughout the show.
Sure. We sure will.
Snap.
So this is going to be a little bit different because instead of going through what happened last week, we'll talk a little bit about what happened last week.
Boom!
Mark Jack, Demon Slayer, Sump 23, TSA Goose, and Nerdvana. Took them all up here, man. Boom. Thank you, Big
Nice.
JC65.
In a row. That's awesome. Way to snatch him up. That's awesome. Way to donate, dude.
Way to go. Thank you, Big JC65.
That's awesome.
We need to put that up on the screen.
We got some loyalists over here. Jeez.
Feeling like a giver?
Nice.
He sure did. He gave and gave and gave.
Now wait.
Gave and
How
gave
close
and
does
gave
that
and gave and gave.
Are you trying to do the count in your head like
I wanted to make sure I got the right. I wanted to make sure I gave the right number of gaves. That puts us halfway there.
Yeah. So what was the magic number? It was 10.
It was subs,
and you give away the.
Technically, it puts us almost halfway there because it was for new subs, and Nerdvana is a resubscribe for 3 months in a row. Thank you. So it's not a new sub. So we're at 4 out of 10.
Did you just boo a resubscribe?
I didn't boo anything. I said no such boo. Yeah, he said ooh. Okay. The good news is I do have cards to open this week. The bad news is it's probably not going to add a ton to the lovely duplicates pile that gets given out after the 10th subscriber. because this is the box for the new things, and I'm gonna just kind of zoom in.
2023.
Oh, snap. Nice.
This is the brand new.
Before you start opening those,
prisms.
I do want to show what JLB missed the opening of. That's a Joaquin Wild signed merch card.
Hey.
Trash can relic card. Hold on,
Nice.
you want a better one?
There's a
This
better
is a
one.
table
That's awesome. That's
relic
signed.
autograph card. This is a table relic autograph card for Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Okay, that deserves to be on your wall, shrined in the most possible biggest case you can
You
get.
can see in the fully loaded
That's
sets,
powerful.
these seals are not broken.
Yeah, he
Smart.
ordered some of the fully loadeds, which are true to their name, quite loaded.
Yeah, I really thought I was getting like a multiple of cards, and you get one card in the set for like $26. But wow, what a card! Holy smokes!
But they're fucking awesome cards. So, this one will probably not be as epic as that opening.
I don't know, dude.
But,
You've had some lately that were just like, what?
I got some really good ones, but none of them were, signed. Pre-sealed
Open.
cards. These are just
air for Rhea to touch them.
Oh, also, let's just wait here for another 20 seconds because the JLB redeemed a no cursing. So we're going to start it here
5
in 10 seconds. So I'm going to say fuck, fucking.
Shut your fucking face and go back.
Motherfucker. Okay, no cussing. No more. 10 minutes. So that little timer at the top of my screen says 18. Okay. Up. I might as well just make it 20 minutes because Big JC just redeemed it too. So 20 minutes.
I think that those, should
guys.
exist. I think that those should exist.
No, it's 20 minutes.
I mean, he did just give 5. Nah, I know. I feel like they should exist at the same time.
Nope. They've got to be.
I think time served at the same time.
It's 2 separate people.
Yeah. It's 2 separate charges. 2 separate charges.
Separate
The only reason
he's
getting it is because he's a giver.
And he deserves it, especially since he gave 5 subs like a boss. Thank you again, Big JC.
So let's just see if I got any great ones out of this first pack.
You know what? Tool is not a cuss word.
The only problem with these prisms
He's the best tool we got.
is there's only 4 cards in the pack. So starting off with the prism, Mako Satomura.
Okay, nice.
A really sweet. I'm gonna have to figure out what the exact call this. I think this is the Ice Crystals Prismatic Cedric Alexander.
Is that a numbered one?
It's not numbered. So the box says.
I should also show JLB.
Where has Cedric
my
been?
first ever.
They had him wrestled just a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, we really liked the Revolution cards.
Yes.
I'll
show you a couple after he's done.
I think that's
really
probably one of the ice prisms, right?
That's a sweet prism, though. It said.
Legends of the Hall Goldberg.
That is so cool. I don't care if it's Goldberg.
That is bad.
It's really interesting because it's in black and white. And I don't know if that's a Legends of the Hall. We'll have to wait until I open another Legends of the Hall to see if that's the commonality of those.
That's sleeve worthy, dude. Get that thing in a sleeve. That's cool.
And then a Triple H.
Triple H.
Okay, nice.
So
Bald Triple H. Note.
Yep. On top of that.
So relatively recent Triple H. So, anyways, what I was saying is this is going to be a little different than our normal shows where we talk about what happened this week, go through, Raw and SmackDown and Dynamite and Rampage specifically. Because, to be perfectly honest, this was a down week for both promotions. And it was a down week that we knew would happen.
Was going to happen, yeah.
Because this is the down week for every pay-per-view cycle, right?
Yeah, this is before the going home shows. So.
Yes, yeah. It's the week before go home. It's. I think I said on the pre-show chat, this is where they're just moving chess pieces around, right? This is where they have to put some of the final pieces in place for the show, but nothing super exciting happens. The only big thing to really talk about was the big announcement that wasn't as big as it was reportedly supposed to be for AEW. It's still a huge announcement. It's still gigantic. We knew it was coming, but they officially announced AEW Collision is going to be on TNT starting on the 17th of June, which is a Saturday night Collision. It's going to be a 2-hour show every week, and they're starting their tour right then. That's right before they start their Canada swing for Dynamite, and so they've added in a bunch of Canada shows for Collision too. Now the expectation is that they're going to start doing Dynamite and Rampage on Wednesday night, do Dynamite, tape Rampage, and then on Saturday night they're going to do Collision and tape Ring of Honor. I think.
Okay.
Do
they usually just do Ring of Honor separately now? Because they do Dynamite.
They've been doing Ring of Honor at Orlando Universal Studios.
Is that a swear word? Dude.
Only if you want it to be one. They've been doing Ring of Honor a lot out of Orlando Universal Studios, where they used to tape AEW Dark.
Right.
AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, of course, no longer exist. Maybe going to be put up on Warner properties at some point. We don't know. That's the part of the deal that wasn't announced. We talked about it on our show. We were part of the hype up for it. That talking about the deal and reportedly how big it was. And it was not announced. Now, AEW is under no obligation to actually put out the specifics of the deal, right? They're not a publicly traded company, but Warner Media is. So they do have to put out the deal at some point. The specifics of the deal. But they don't have to put it out officially until earnings calls, until quarterly calls. You know what I mean? So it may be a while before we officially hear it. It also may be because January of 2020 was when they had their TV rights deal. It was a 4-year, $175 million contract then. So this new deal might not actually go into effect until January of next year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. So it might be that they're not going to fully announce the deal until later in the year. Or maybe they're holding up to announce it for something else. Reports have it that All In from Wembley is supposed to be on Warner Media's streaming service, which will now be called Max, because apparently HBO isn't young enough for the youth.
Get the HBO out.
Max.
That's so weird. Just because
get the F out, does it?
And that's with Discovery Plus, right? So Discovery Plus and HBO Max
Discovery
are
Plus
coming
and
together.
HBO Max are going to merge together.
like, could you have at least been a bit more creative and had at least Discovery Max or something? Like, have Discovery as part of the name?
I'm fine with Discovery not be part of it. Here's the deal. This will date me a bit, but I think DA Faye will be in a similar boat. When I hear HBO, I get warm fuzzies from childhood. I didn't have
HBO.
theme
song.
but I think of the friend that I knew that had HBO and getting those rare times I got to go over to their house and watch HBO, and that HBO sound for their slogan sound when the HBO would come up on the screen. Yeah, that literally,
it was THX before THX existed.
Yeah, just hearing that sound, and this is HBO. Like HBO Max brings that to me. And I still, when I watch one of the older HBO shows on there and that sound comes on, I still get that. And I feel that, in my opinion, it's a mistake to remove the HBO from it. But their analysis says that younger people don't have that fuzzy feeling for HBO, and that HBO doesn't drive them. Calling it Max is not actually a reference to Cinemax in their mind. It just means maximum entertainment. And so they think just calling it Max, is the better. I think they're throwing away this good clout for no clout,
But anyway, Discovery and HBO.
Yeah. But AEW All Access will be moving to Max. So it will be the first AEW property on Max. I think, though, when it moves, it's June 9th when it moves, so that's still 3 weeks away. That might be the end of the season, so it might be, just throwing the whole season up there after the fact. But anyways, reportedly, because the reports are still out there, whether they announced it or not, reportedly, it's upwards of $200 million a year for the new deal, and that it includes streaming rights. That's insane. Like, the number that was being thrown around last week was $240 million a year. That's $1.2 billion over the course of the 5 years the deal is reportedly. That's nuts. That's
a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's a great deal for Tony Khan.
That's a whole lot of money. So, if
it's
that's
a great deal
true
for Tony Khan's wrestlers too.
Yeah, especially if things start showing up on Warner Media, right? Here's the deal: if Dynamite and Rampage and Collision become available live streaming on Max, I'm canceling my Sling subscription. I'm just watching it on Max, right?
Right.
Because fuck Sling. Sorry.
Man, you've been saying fuck Sling for the past 3 years. You're still
I have,
shit.
but unfortunately, I said it in the middle of the second 10 minutes. So we have to add another minute because of me. I apologize. So it'll be going until that thing says 29 and a half minutes.
Fair.
Anyways. But so other than that, though, I mean, there were good things that happened on Dynamite. There were some good things that happened on Raw and SmackDown. It's not like they were bad shows.
Potential end of the bloodline, baby. It's coming. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. There were just some, like, a lot of, like I said, pieces being moved around and storylines being put in place. Leading up to the pay-per-views that are going to be next weekend. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about the pay-per-views. Next weekend is going to be a busy weekend for wrestling.
And busier than even Mania weekend.
In a way, at least for mainstream wrestling, yes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be busy in a dumb way, a way that I wish they weren't doing. But it's WWE, and they've got to be WWE.
They do got to be WWE.
NXT's Battleground premium live event is counter-programmed directly against Double or Nothing. Because WWE has to try to pull as much viewing away from AEW as they can.
Right.
And so now people have to make a choice, right?
Of what to watch live.
What to watch live for most people. Now, I may be in a fairly unique situation where I can have one up on a screen in front of me and one on a tablet and have them both going at the same time. But that's really not a fun way to watch because you're not paying full attention to anything.
Well,
Right.
I mean, we've seen people who watch wrestling that way, and they end up being bitter, angry old men.
Yes.
Not
Or even
not going to point fingers at
slightly younger
who
men.
watches nonstop. Yeah, he might have been.
Is he not? Is he not here anymore? Or
He might be.
We don't
lurking.
really see him that often anymore.
I blocked him on Twitter, so
Smarks has a knack for, when he's done, he's done.
right.
You can push
That's
me
what happens when
really,
you're
really
beat cop
far.
for all the years.
You can push me really, really far, but when I finally go off that cliff, it's done. Anyways, so let's talk about the Saturday premium live event, which is WWE's Night of Champions. It's going to be the one that I don't watch. We all know this. I don't watch the Saudi events.
If ever there was a time that you wanted to, though, this would be the one that you would want to.
Yeah.
This one has
Would have
some.
wanted to,
This
because
one might be
This
the
one
first
seems
one
to be more canon than any other one has ever been.
Well, and it's going to have actual effect, right? Someone brought up the other day that it was like 3 years ago. Braun Strowman won the
Greatest
tournament,
battle royale or whatever.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
greatest Royal Rumble,
that's
and
it.
got issued a championship belt, a strap for it, and it was never seen again.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing is.
Can't believe you're gonna miss out on Seth versus AJ. That's gonna be
for the
banger.
most part. These Saudi Arabian pay-per-views, premium live events, whatever you want to call them, don't tend to rock the boat too much. They tend to play things really, really safe and not actually change anything. And the things that change happen on the premium live events that matter, right? But for this one, we're guaranteed to have one new champion, right? Because Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are facing off in the final for the new World Heavyweight Championship. That new belt we talked about, right? That's going to be a fire
Becky
match.
is facing Trish at this show as well? Oh, damn. Okay.
That hasn't been officially announced, but I think they expect that to be announced this week because they've been building up for that.
Okay.
But we also are very possibly going to have new tag champions because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are currently scheduled to face the Bloodline, which is not the Usos. It's Roman and Solo, because they're out to show the Usos what's up. Now, there's only...
Or we're likely to see the Usos turn on.
Yes.
No.
So it might happen either way. Now, I'm still in the... I'll believe it when I see it on Sammy actually wrestling in Saudi Arabia. But as of right now, that's what's scheduled, right? SmackDown has already been taped. So that all they have left is Raw. So whatever happens tomorrow night on Raw and then SmackDown when it airs are the only things left before this. The SmackDown tapings, I read spoilers for it. I'm not going to spoil what happened specifically, but it does not appear from that they did anything on SmackDown to affect
Sammy not
whether
showing up.
Kevin and Sammy are there. So it would have to be something on Raw, if anything.
But it also does not appear as though something has already happened then. There's no reference to the spoilers of the Usos taking on Roman and Solo.
To not spoil anything for anyone, the only thing I've heard is that I don't think spoils what actually happens. Although if it does, here I'm going to hold my hand up here, right? When I put my hands down, the spoilers are done. So if you don't want any spoilers and you're watching,
there you go.
My hand will be when my hand
turn
comes
off
down.
The volume.
So turn off the volume. I'm going to start.
When his hand goes up, your volume goes shut. If you don't want spoilers.
1. The only spoiler that I saw specifically was that Roman breaks his rule of not picking up the championship belt that he's challenging for before the pay-per-view on the Go Home show, right? Normally he's got a rule. If he's challenging for a belt on the Go Home show, he doesn't do the thing that challengers do where they pick up the belt and they pose with it. And in this one, he ends the show holding up the tag titles.
Oh.
Okay.
Whether that means something or not. Okay?
It's bad luck.
Spoilers are done. So, other than that, we also have Gunther versus Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental belt. I don't see, even with
Let's go Ali. Let's go
Mustafa Ali's whole positive thinking gimmick right now, I see no reason to have him beat Gunther.
Think positive, right? Ali. All
no,
right, let's do it.
No, in fact, I see maybe Riddle interfering there.
Yeah. Well, also with the fact that Gunther is still probably going to have his 2 lackeys by his side to help him out, right?
Right.
Because he's still a heel champion.
Yes.
And then Bianca Belair versus
we all like
Asuka.
Him doesn't mean that he's not a heel.
Yeah. Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship.
Pull the trigger.
They are definitely leaning more and more towards heel Asuka now. So I am hoping that this is going to be a sign of heel Asuka winning the championship. But at the very least, we're going to have one champion coming out of there. One new champion coming out.
That wasn't there before. Yes.
Yeah, one new champion. By my count, I easily could see 2 or 3 new champions coming out of there. But with each title change that happens during the event, I'm less confident that another title change will happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Like, we're definitely going to have a new world heavyweight champion. But if they have
I think it stops at 2.
Yeah. If they have
it may go
Asuka
2,
beat Bianca,
it stops there,
then that's 2, and I'm less confident in the Bloodline winning versus Owens and Zayn. I'm 100% not confident in Mustafa Ali.
Right.
I'm just not.
No, for sure. That's right.
Also, like JLB said, reportedly, although it has not been officially added yet, it's still obviously the way they're going. Reportedly, they're going to be announcing Trish versus Becky for this, probably on Monday Night Raw. That would put us at 6 total matches for the show. That's about where WWE likes to be. So I don't anticipate a ton of more matches added to it. But 6 matches will give everyone at least a decent amount of time to breathe.
Or bleed if that's what they're going to go with.
Or bleed. Yeah, they might bleed. I mean, Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes is on the card, and we saw Brock bleed the hard way a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was fun. I want to fight.
My only complaint is they should have showed more blood. But Vince was like, no, not doing it. Get the camera off him.
Sorry, the natural amounts of blood wasn't enough for you, bud.
Yeah. Sorry, him pre-cutting himself off stage and super gluing it shut and then legitimately hitting his head on a turnbuckle. Wasn't bloody enough for you.
Not enough great camera work.
Did it come out that it was a pre-cut?
It hasn't fully come out, but if you look at his stitches, they are a straight line.
It was Casey confirmed. It's the double C.
And again, it's an absolute straight line. It's also a very long line. It's longer than most like blade jobs typically are. It had to be 6 or 7 stitches in it.
I tried to get a blade job from somebody once. Didn't happen.
But
sorry,
but so it does indeed look like a fairly good show. So if you are one of the people who are watching Night of Champions in the afternoon, it's night there.
Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Watching this pay-per-view to start off the Saudi pay-per-views would be your best move because there's storytelling happening here that makes sense for future storylines. So, should be a great show for, and we get a new world champion. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
none of this Braun Strowman greatest Royal Rumble bull bananas. You know, we're actually gonna get legitimate matches. So I'm excited.
How long ago was Greatest Royal?
Did you just say bull bananas?
Bull bananas.
I love your terminology sometimes, man. I have missed you.
Thank you. They're cheesy, they're quirky, but they work.
Well,
work-ish.
Don't take it too far.
Work-ish. Yeah, no,
wow.
But
if it was Greatest Royal Rumble, it was longer ago than I thought. That was 2018.
Oh wow, that would make
April
sense.
27th, 2018.
2018. Wow.
And that's when Braun Strowman won. Yeah. So,
wow.
5 years ago. So, because I'm not great with math.
Yeah, no, it's 5 years.
So that means that if my math is correct, it's got to be fairly close. Braun Strowman has been Greatest Royal Rumble champion for 1,855 days. Suck it, Roman Reigns. Your 1,000-day mark.
Yep, straight up.
Come at me when you
and
get
his 1,000th
days.
reign, his 1,000th day is going to be when? It's supposed to be in like 2 weeks or something, right? Is it actually at Night of Champions? His 1,000th day? No, what?
I thought it was closer to SummerSlam.
No, because I remember them mentioning something on SmackDown that it was 2 weeks away for it to be 1,000th day or something.
It wasn't defended until then, so
I'm trying to read here. So, Universal Champion. We'll look at it this way. Reigns. Roman Reigns is currently at.
It falls on Night of Champions.
Does it fall on Night of Champions? Because I was looking here and he's at, according to Wikipedia, 989 plus days, which would put Night of Champions would put it shortly less than 1,000 days, except for that plus, that mysterious plus that's on this thing.
Well, according to the Sportster, it falls on Night of Champions.
Well, far be it from us to impugn the Sportster's reporting.
They probably did math and stuff to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to point out that Wikipedia also says it marks the 1000th day in the Night of Champions listing, but in the Universal Champions listing, it does not list that. So I don't know.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Who really knows?
Well, just say it does. Just say it does.
Well, I mean, this is pro wrestling where a
Exactly.
tournament in Rio led to the Intercontinental Belt. You know, that very famous tournament that lots of people remember going to. I'm gonna open another pack here. We got a Karrion Kross.
I'm still so upset that he's still just an entrance. Just waiting for him to go over. I'm like, no.
Jey Uso.
Uso.
August 30th, 2020 was the day that Roman won it. That is 994 days ago.
Okay,
there are 6 days until Night of Champions.
That would put it
right now. That
that
is
would
exactly 1,000 days.
Okay, I hate this pack that I just opened. I hate it because the last card in the pack is Jerry Lawler.
Nice.
And the second to last card in the pack, wasting my top tier, is Natalia.
Oh, hey, you can send her on over here. We like to support our Canadians.
There's nothing wrong with Natalia, except she's not top tier. So just to get that taste out of my mouth, I'm opening another pack.
Oh, jeez.
That is crazy that it ends exactly 1,000 days as Night of Champions.
Night of Champions.
Do they throw
something big has to happen there? No, because Roman's
Do they throw in a last-minute match?
Well, Roman's tagging, though.
I don't know.
Roman's already on a tag match.
Yeah. Roman's not. That's why Roman isn't winning, though. I don't think Roman is going to be winning on his 1,000th day for it.
Yeah,
because
I think they put him in the tag match so that he doesn't have to defend it on his 1,000th day.
Yeah,
he gets to the 1,000 without having to defend it that day, and then on my other pack, MVP starts it off.
Nice,
old school.
No, that's not old school.
That's old school.
That's old school.
Get on the go train. That's right.
Train.
Oh man, I was the one who behaved there. That is not normal for this group. I said go train.
No, you ho train it up.
Who we got here? Is that Kyrie Sane?
Nope, it's Ava Raine.
No, Ava Raine.
Yep. Also known as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter.
Has she been on NXT still? I guess yeah.
She's wrestled like 2 matches, but yeah, she's part of Joe Gacy's thing. And then
Don't
in
you ever call him crazy.
Pack, the
Gacy
pack,
Crazy Crew.
The pack before I opened a Karrion Kross, and in this one I open a green Karrion Kross.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Still looking generic as ever. They need to go back to shaving his freaking head.
Shave your head.
Shave your head. Shave your head.
So, moving on to talk about NXT, when he was a little bit more than just an entrance, maybe, arguably. That's going to be the one that's going to cause people to have to make a choice, because NXT Battleground is going to be airing directly opposite of AEW's Double or Nothing. And it's a fairly stacked card too. I don't know if Double or Nothing was threatening to steal many people from the NXT fandom, though. So I don't know if I don't know how many people this is going to really affect. Like, it's not like NXT has been getting 1 million viewers every week either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Well, and
but
I don't know why WWE does it with NXT specifically too, because at the end of the day, we'll just go on to the WWE Network after we watch Double or Nothing, or the day after. We'll order Double or Nothing, we'll watch it, and then we'll watch NXT
they
the day
do it with
after.
NXT, I think, for a reason that when I explain, I think will make a lot of sense to you. They've said before that they don't see AEW, they don't consider AEW competition.
Right.
Even when AEW beat NXT so much that they moved NXT to Tuesday nights, they said they're not really competition. They beat our developmental. They beat our developmental. Triple H actually said that. So what? They beat our developmental league, right?
Right.
So they don't see AEW as direct competition for them. They see AEW as competition for NXT. Or, more specifically, they want us to see AEW as competition for NXT.
Right. Okay.
So this is them trying to subtly say, we don't need to counter program our main roster against AEW, because AEW is really only equivalent to our minor league, our AAA ball club, right? We'll put our developmental against them. So, anyways, so this card has multiple world championship or championship matches, including Wesley versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy, triple threat for the NXT North American Championship. Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee, a British rules match for the NXT Heritage Cup. The finals of the NXT Women's Championship Tournament, which will have either Roxanne Perez or Tiffany Stratton versus either Cora Jade or Lyra Valkyria. We'll find out on Tuesday on that. You're going to have a last man standing match, Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak, which should
Yes,
be
please.
fire.
Yeah.
And then in what I assume will be the main event, Carmelo Hayes, the champion, defending versus heel Braun Breaker, the NXT Championship match. There's also a lot of reason to think that they're going to also put in there a women's tag match, because the women's tag champions got called up to the main roster. So I would expect them to do something there. But that could be a really good pay-per-view. I will not blame anyone who chooses to watch that over AEW, especially if you're an NXT fan more than AEW. I will be watching AEW primarily. That's just the way I am, right? Does it surprise anyone here? The answer is no.
No. No, man.
I will be angry that I'm not
That's
seeing the Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak match live.
And you're not an Ilya Dragunov fan.
I'm not. I'm a Dominic Dijak fan. And please put more of him in my veins.
That sounded filthy.
It was meant to. Call me Dijak.
Okay, well, as long...
Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee should be a really fun match too.
I feel like Mark Jack's gonna give you a call later on. Just because you said something, Jack.
Did you say call Mark Jack? Call me? Is that what you said? Wesley versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy should be a fun match, right? About the only match that, frankly, I'm not looking forward to is Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker, because I just don't really feel like we need to see it again.
Yeah, I don't care.
Even though it's a heel Braun Breaker and everything, like, I was ready for Braun Breaker to go up to the main roster and start something up there.
Yeah. Instead of having one of the NXT tag teams go up to the main roster, it was so confusing to me how they had the tag team match to go on NXT for the titles, but then you had both women go up to both tag teams go up to the main roster. And I'm like, well, then why are you
Yeah.
even having this match?
Why are you even
What's
having
the
this?
point? Okay. First tag team was announced. I'm like, okay, you set it up for the other team to win. Got it. Cool. Second tag team was announced. I'm like, well, what are you doing? What's going on here? Oh yeah,
Little pirate skull and crossbones.
Looks like he
Pirate Skull.
might have a thought process there.
You might. Got something to say?
La-dee-da.
Hmm.
I can tell you, whatever he said, he's dead on. Arr.
Boom chakalaka. So NXT Battlegrounds looks like it'll be fun.
Yep.
I would expect, we talked about it before the show, I would expect the women's championship match is going to end up being Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. Because that's the feud they were building for before Cora had to step away. And so it just makes sense for them to.
It was Cora who stepped away? She was.
No,
she...
it was,
Perez, no?
I was Roxanne Perez, excuse me. I said
Yeah,
Cora Jade,
okay.
but I meant Roxanne Perez had to. And then Indy Hartwell won it. And then she got called up to the main roster. So she had to vacate it.
Okay, so she just vacated? She didn't lose it to anyone?
Yep, she just vacated.
No, that's why they did the tournament. Okay.
So that's why they did the tournament, yes.
Shows how much NXT I watch.
Which means in the last two NXT pay-per-views, premium live events, the women's title has been in some sort of tournament or of some sorts to be reinstated somehow. I think that's fun.
Over and over and over again. I think it's just because of Roxanne's injury that they.
Yeah, I think if
sure.
Roxanne hadn't got injured, Indy would never have been champion. I'm 100% with you on it. And then it would have been leading up to the feud Cora Jade. Because, remember, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade partnered, and Roxanne Perez turned on her. They were tag champions, and then they turned on her. So, but then we've got the thing of the weekend that I'm the most excited for, because I am who I am. I'm wearing my AEW Stadium Stampede Inner Circle winning, even though they lost, shirt today. So that's
Is that what you got from the
AEW.
mystery box?
No,
Yeah.
my wife bought this
No?
for me because remember the
that's
storyline was they lost the Stadium Stampede, and then the next week on Dynamite,
Right, and they had a whole bunch of shirts.
They had a whole bunch of shirts printed up that proclaiming themselves the winners. And so what are they going to do? So they discounted them and they sold them for super cheap. So AEW Double or Nothing is in true AEW fashion. Now keep in mind they only do currently 4 major pay-per-views a year, although they're actually doing 5 this year because of All In. But
And Forbidden Door, technically.
But it's an anniversary.
Forbidden Door.
So
that's an anniversary. It's not a regular pay-per-view. Yeah, Forbidden Door is also another one. So technically, they're kind of doing 6. But again, Forbidden Door
and then they have
and
all the
All In
Fallens,
are,
Fight for the Fallens, or Fight for the Freedom, or Fight for the Freedom.
but those are
those
just
don't
done
count.
as regular episodes of Dynamite, like 2-week episodes of Dynamite. So, in terms
I
of
know, just
pay-per-view,
throwing other special
and that's the
names
deal. Is
there.
Fight for the Fallen, not Fight for the Forbidden Door and All In are kind of more special events than pay-per-views. If you want to get nitpicky, but anyways,
I do want to get nitpicky.
as is AEW's tradition, because they only do 4 to 6 pay-per-views a year, it's a little bit more packed. So, starting off, we have Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. That very well might be one of the last matches of the night.
It's an unsanctioned. Yeah, sorry,
It's
I was thinking of
unsanctioned,
the group
so-
matchup they're gonna have.
Bobby Fish is back. We have Undisputed Era again.
I mean, they call themselves the Undisputed Elite for the short period of time, but who knows? Maybe. I can't rule it out.
Doing that backwards.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, the
Oh, that's backwards too. European Union. That's what it is.
European.
Oh, they crossed them.
That's what they crossed.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it was.
That's what they did. Anyways, Adam Cole, this does remind me of like one of my favorite things from this week was Chris Jericho versus Roddy Strong in their Falls Count Anywhere match, where both Adam Cole and the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society were banned from the arena, with one exception, because Sammy Guevara wrestled in a match earlier in the night. So is he no longer in the Jericho Appreciation Society? I'm confused. Anyway, but it was my favorite moment because they wrestled around. They did their typical wrestling in concessions sort of a thing that happens anytime there's a Falls Count Anywhere match in wrestling, right? And then at one point, they went out the front door to the arena, and they were wrestling in the like walk-up area at some landscaping and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, rising up behind Chris Jericho was Adam Cole. Because he might have been banned from inside the arena, but he was not banned from outside the arena.
From outside.
So he used his head. Thought he worked smarter, not harder.
Straight up.
And then helped Roddy win. Leading up to this unsanctioned match, you have a 6-man tag match. Ethan Page and the Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, the Ass Boys, versus the Hardy Party, which is, of course, Isaiah Cassidy, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy. If Hardy Party wins, Matt Hardy will own Ethan Page's contract. So it's an inverse of what they've done before.
They really just got to end this feud, though. Like, that's...
I don't know.
They just got to end the feud. I'm done. Like, I don't care. Just...
I don't know where I'm at
your-
with Big Money Matt Hardy. I'm
like, I really don't. Just give me the Hardy get out. Like, that's it.
I think after the whatever they called it, deletion match a couple weeks ago, I think they're hinting more and more at Matt Hardy going back to a broken gimmick. I think they're definitely leaning toward Jeff Hardy going back to a broken gimmick. Isaiah Cassidy kind of fits in, but kind of doesn't. And I think they hinted at something this week on Dynamite. Ethan Page said to Isaiah Cassidy, who was at your side when your partner got injured and couldn't be your tag partner anymore? Who stepped in? Not the Hardys. I did. So this, to me, my conspiracy brain goes, I think there's smoke here, and when there's smoke, there's fire. I think this is a chance for Isaiah Cassidy to turn on the Hardys and join Ethan Page and them go on a tag team rampage for a while. It also would give us a chance for heel Isaiah Cassidy again, because that's what he did better. I don't think he does babyface as well. And it gives Matt and Jeff Hardy an excuse to go broken again because they were betrayed. So, anyways, in a match that was just announced at Rampage, after Jade Cargill destroyed 2 women in a row to pad her stats a little bit, Taya Valkyrie came out and challenged Jade Cargill for the TBS championship at Double or Nothing. So that's going to be there.
Is this the fall of Jade?
No. No, it's not.
Well, Taya can use her finisher now.
Taya can use her
In
finisher.
this match.
Yeah, but I think
It'll also
Statlander is
put-
going to be the one that beats her.
I still feel that in my bones, but
Hot, gross.
I feel it in my bones. It's an S at the end of that, not an R. You didn't hear an R.
I feel that in my boner. Sick flex.
I think they keep it on Jade for this. Them just having this be a rematch is the thing that throws me though, because it is a rematch, even though the previous one ended in a no contest disqualification.
It's because there was a stupid stipulation.
There's a stupid stipulation. I still feel like this is a chance for Jade to get a victory, but I would be shocked if Jade wins. I would be shocked if we don't see Chris Statlander come back in Double or Nothing. So that's what I expect to happen. But I don't know. They could take a chance and put it on Taya. Taya has proven time and time again at multiple promotions that she can be a champion. So the only thing is she hasn't had a lot of runs as a babyface champion, and that's what she's kind of playing right now. So, anyways, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite in an Anarchy in the Arena match. That plays into the big news that happened at Dynamite, and that was the reuniting of the Elite. Hangman Page came back and helped them to clear out the ring, and then announced this match
with an eye patch on.
With an eye patch. Yeah, someone online
badass eye patch on, mind you.
If he's a cowboy but also a pirate, does he say yeehaw or arg? And I said yeeharg.
Yeeharg.
But Anarchy in the Arena match, which should be sort of crazy.
I was really thinking Blood and Guts. Like I was hoping for another Blood and Guts, to be honest with you.
I really was too.
Yeah, I would like a Blood and Guts. I don't know. Here's the deal. I don't know how you do an Anarchy in the Arena match with full arena now, because that was one of the matches that they did that they started during the.
No, they had it already in a full arena though.
It wasn't a full arena.
As opposed to a full-ish arena.
Yeah, it was still at limited capacity in the arena at the time because it was still during COVID.
So it was Anarch in the arena. Now this is Anarch in the arena.
I'm gonna check on that. I think their last one it was full. In the arena.
R-O-C-K in the USA.
R-O-C-K in the USA. Rocking in the USA. Good old John Cougar Mellencamp.
Man, thanks for supporting Entry. I appreciate that.
I just support John Cougar Mellencamp.
John Cougar Mellencamp is one of my favorites.
Especially when he gave you that little ditty about Jack and Diane. Oh, what a story.
Sucking on chili dogs. You know, that's a euphemism, right?
No, they were sucking on chili dogs.
It's not actually about sucking on chili dogs. The chili dog is something else. Yeah.
They're talking about lollipops then. Because you don't really suck on chili dogs.
No, they just scorfed it down. Because he's not saying Diane was doing that. They were. So it's not like a sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Sucking on chili dogs outside the tasty.
I mean, unless... we don't...
It 100% is a sexual thing. I'm telling you.
We don't really know what Jack's feelings were.
Well, I mean, his next line was Diane sitting on Jackie's lap, got his hands between her knees.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But chili dog's gone.
She's sitting on his lap, though. She ain't sucking it. I'm just saying.
I mean, if it's a chili dog,
on his lap.
then she can sit on his lap and just eat the chili dog.
chili dogs and euthanism for
I don't know.
penis.
Anyways, Anarchy in the Arena match, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. Should be a lot of fun. Should be crazy.
Wait, did we just go rogue enough to make you go, holy crap, where are we at right now?
I looked at the time and realized we're at an hour. So I've got 3 more packs that I want to
ADHD came and ate you alive. That's fantastic.
I'm trying to focus. I'm trying hard. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. Because I want to get to the match that I really want to talk about.
Okay,
The one that I really want to talk about. But Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm is also announced. Wardlow versus Christian Cage in a ladder match for the TNT title. That I think heavily favors Christian Cage. Not just because of the ladder match. He's had a history with ladder matches, but also the fact that ladder matches, by very nature, don't have disqualifications, and Christian Cage has a giant dinosaur in his corner.
Straight up.
Is this the creation of a
Wardlow does, however,
dominant Wardlow?
Possibly. I mean, he does have armed Anderson in his corner.
Oh God!
So that's where we see Chris Jericho take 2 to the chest and 1 to the forehead from a 9mm.
From the it's a 5mm.
It's a 4mm, man.
It's a 4mm. Yeah, there's a trigger.
FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And I'm telling you right now, if Triple J win this, I am flipping whatever table I have in front of me.
I don't think they're going to beat FTR.
Foldable table?
Yes. I'm going to bring a cheap table up here so I can flip it just in case. But
okay. I was going to say, just
in what will probably be the main event. The thing that makes me the most nervous is that Mark Briscoe is going to be the special guest referee, and even though he's friends with FTR, he also was frequently at odds with FTR in a lot of their matches.
He also got pile driven by
them
by accident.
By accident, right? Also, they brought back Karen Jarrett in case we needed.
Oh man, that was so lame.
Another reason to hate Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
I'm going to employ you, and then I'm going to start banging your wife.
No. In fairness, Jeff Jarrett alleges that Kurt Angle had been very unfaithful to her for a long time beforehand, and that their marriage was over. They weren't even living together at the time. Like, they were separated.
In fairness, he was Kurt Angle's boss when he did that.
In fairness, you're correct. But in fairness, again, all I'm saying is it's not... It'd be one thing if they were a happily married couple when this happened. But apparently, according to him at least, and that again, that's a biased source there. I'm just saying that both sides here. But that they had been basically divorced for years by that point because of Kurt Angle's frequent infidelities. Oh, did we just lose DA Fame?
Oh, apparently we did.
Did we just lose him? Nope. Well, I mean, I feel like we lost him because he just dropped out.
He's just dropped out. I don't think he's in the backstage area.
He just booted out entirely.
God damn. Thank you, Elon.
Anyway, no, he's actually switching to his mobile thing because he's gonna go maybe take a pee and probably smoke a smoky treat.
Smoke a smoky treat.
He has decided to no longer do those in the house. Well, do the smoky treats, I should say, in the house.
Oh,
keep the house free and smoke.
That's smart. Good.
Anyways, what's most likely going to be the main event is the 4-way match, the 4 pillars match. MJF defending versus Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, and Darby Allin. Should be a really fun match.
Fun match, but predictable ending.
I do not see anyone other than MJF walking out with the championship at this point. Mostly because this is the typical Sammy Guevara is going to be trying to beat MJF. Jungle Boy is going to be trying to beat MJF. Darby Allin's going to be trying to beat MJF. So they end up having to fight each other more than they actually fight MJF. And MJF sneaks out a victory.
Yeah.
The match that I really want to talk about. Yeah. The match that I really want to talk about was announced this week when Orange Cassidy put out an open challenge for his international championship, and they came back after the commercial break and said, in just the short time after you said that, if anyone wants to challenge, just go see Tony Khan, 20 people have gone in and signed up for it. And Orange Cassidy was like, 20 people? I guess that makes me 21. So isn't Blackjack up to 21? Well, why don't we just do a Blackjack Battle Royal for the title?
As they usually do for Double or Nothing. Not for a title shot. But...
Yeah, for a title shot. But that's what I just love Orange Cassidy just being like, because they're obviously telling this story of him just being absolutely just tired and beat to shit. You know what I mean? Every time he wrestles afterwards, they show him and he looks like he's just had the worst day of his life. But he squeaks out victories every time. And so is this going to be the match where he squeaks out a victory versus 21 other people?
I don't. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, okay, good. That's all I want. Okay, go.
Or is this going to be the finality of that storyline of him just finally being so beat to shit that he, loses? Is this their way of getting the belt off of him without having him actively lose it? You know what I mean? Like, especially if they have him eliminate like 10 people. You know what I mean? Still lose the match, but he somehow or another managed to eliminate a bunch of people. Looked like he might still win it, That's just kind of what I'm wondering. I just am super excited for it because it just
I think Orange Cassidy is the most exciting, though. Out of all the titles that are happening right now, what Orange Cassidy is doing is perfect.
It's so much fun watching him.
Yeah.
It is so much fun watching him.
It's both contrary and in character. So it's both opposing character because it tells a story different than the guy who does the bare minimum. And also is in character because I'll handle whatever. I can do whatever business I need to do. Whatever.
Oh, 20 people showed up for it? I don't want to pick between 20 people. Let me face them all.
I guess I'll do them all. That's fine. That's it. I just love that it even started off when he first won it. He would just walk up to some random person backstage being interviewed. And he'd be like, you see this belt? Do you want it? Oh, okay, I'll wrestle you for it next week. You want this? Okay, week after that, you got it. I just absolutely love it. And I want him to win, but I do have this weird feeling that this was designed as a way for him to lose but not look weak. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's beautifully, foolishly confident, which you kind of love, but you also go, well, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had our foolishly confident moments in our lives, I'm sure. One of us maybe went on the podcast and was peeing while we were on the podcast.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
Thought nobody would notice, but there was background noise.
Apparently, there was not enough background noise.
I did this. I usually mute my microphone.
No,
nope. That was Fabe. That was Fabe we were talking about.
Oh, okay. Because we've all.
That's how I got tamed from. My mobile I have is Fabe on the go, and Smarks changed it to Fabe in the loo.
Yes.
I'm not in the loo right now, but that's
In
how
the
it got
loo.
changed.
That's how I changed it. Yep. Fabe in the loo. So that's the match from Double or Nothing that I'm most excited for. I would not be surprised if that's the first match of the night.
Yeah, because
You're not
usually
excited for
the
an
battle
MJF
royale.
match? You're not excited for the 4 Pillars match?
I'm excited for it. I feel like that is
You just
the
know the ending.
storyline that's like the most transparent of how it's going to go. I don't see MJF losing in any way, shape, or form. As much as I like Sammy Guevara, as much as I like Jungle Boy, as much as I like Darby Allin,
If they'd make that an elimination, it would change everything to it.
this match is designed for MJF to get those people to fight each other and then sneak out a sneaky victory, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited for it because Sammy Guevara is going to do something crazy stupid that's going to make everyone go, how the fuck does this guy get away with this shit? He's just doing a backward 630 through a table off the ring post or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for it. Darby Allin's gonna be Darby Allin. He's gonna go flying. His dives are some of the most brutal I've ever seen. Throws himself around with absolute abandon. Jungle Boy is all sorts of fun. If I were to put bets and someone said to me, you have to pick one of the other pillars to win, Jungle Boy is the most likely to win, but I'd put MJF as far and away odds-on favorite to win.
Well, Jungle Boy, I mean, with a quick turn back to MJF, because heel champions work better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really good feel good with Jungle Boy. It's also the first time that they'll have pay-per-views close enough together that you could put it on one, take it off, and it would not affect storylines, but it would give you a boost to a character.
Yeah, and that's what I say. There's a chance. I just think it's a very outside chance.
Under the same token, you could do the same with Sammy Guevara. You could get that quick pop of he's championship caliber because he got the title.
Yep.
And then take it back off him relatively quickly.
I just don't actually see it happening. That's my thing. So I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. I'm excited for Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. They put on a fire match when they faced off before, and Jamie Hayter won. This one, the odds are a little bit more in Tony Storm's favor just because she's the heel coming into this with heel faction that could always help cheat
Side note,
sort of a thing.
What's the stance on Thunder Rosa?
So there's every chance that she'll be coming back soon. She's reportedly getting close.
Well,
to
she
coming
showed
back.
up, right?
She's been
She
backstage,
showed up knocking on Tony Khan's door.
Yeah, she's been backstage
like
at recent
TV,
Dynamite. So. She showed up, yeah. Also reportedly, this was something I just read like yesterday. She made in-person apologies to the women's locker room and for her behavior prior. She kind of let being champion go to her head a little bit. And the apologies have been accepted, and there's no longer ill will towards her, which I think definitely helps out.
Unfortunately, she's at a point where the storyline doesn't. It went long enough that the storyline doesn't affect.
I think the storyline for her would be,
I didn't lose my title.
There could be that. I think the bigger thing is moving her down to the TBS title. I say down, moving her over to the TBS title picture for a while. Have Chris Statlander be the one to beat Jade Cargill. Jade can get some much needed time off to be with her family for a bit, and then Thunder Rosa can be one of the first big hurdles for Chris Statlander to have as the champion. It would help elevate the TBS championship a little bit more to have Chris Statlander beat a former champion in a big feud, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I think. and that's it. I say the Orange Cassidy match is the match I'm most excited for. That doesn't mean I'm not excited for Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm or the Anarchy in the Arena match, or Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie, or Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho, or FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. Well, I'm not huge on that one, but
I'm a little bit less excited about that one. Yes, although
I'm very big on the Anarchy in the Arena one.
Jay Lethal has filed to trademark Black Machismo again, so we might see that coming back here soon.
Ooh, if he turns on Jarrett, that'd be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then you could have Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh can actually perform in the ring.
Yep.
Instead of just being the muscle.
That's so.
Those double choke was pretty badass.
I think here's the deal. The few times we've seen Satnam in the ring, he actually shows that he's not like
Big Show.
Well, I was gonna say he's not like Kenny Omega level amazing sort of a thing, but he's also not Great Khali level, or he's got some actual skill. He's got a little bit of speed and a little agility. The things that served him very well as a basketball player. At least well enough to get him signed to an NBA team. Did not get him a long career with an NBA team, but it shows he's got some athletic ability, and so I don't hate him as much as I've hated a lot of big men. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they need to put the TBS or the TNT title on him, have him go beat Wardlow or anything,
No. But as a tag team partner with Black Machismo doing most of the talking.
Yeah. Especially if Black Machismo just like always calls him Andre or something like that. Just like he thinks he's Andre the Giant, even though he's not. He's nothing look anything.
That'd be hilarious.
You know what I mean? But a lot of these matches are going to be absolute fire, right? Some of them are going to be okay. But that Orange Cassidy match is the one that I will be like a giddy little schoolboy here watching it. And I will be laughing at every moment. I guarantee you I will be laughing however Aaron Solo gets eliminated. I will laugh however QT Marshall gets eliminated.
Do we have the entire list of the people in it, though?
We do not at the moment.
Okay.
And
there's a few names mentioned.
There are a few names specifically because on QTV, QT Marshall announced that he had signed all of them up for it. And then the girl who's with them, I don't remember her name. I don't even know if they've said it. Said, "Oh, great! I finally get my in-ring debut." And he's "Oh, not for you." So Powerhouse Hobbs, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solo are the only names currently announced for it.
And that lends some parity to that title as well. If Hobbs wins.
Yeah, there's a chance for Hobbs to win. He's a former TNT title holder. He's said that his
for all of like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that.
Well, the other piece to that is you do open up not an easy finger poke of doom, but a potential finger poke of doom.
Yeah.
You open up the opportunity for them to attempt that, like Hobbs finger pokes Solo, and then goes for the cover and somebody else breaks it up. Or more importantly, QT Marshall finger pokes Aaron Solo and somebody breaks it up.
But anyway, I just think
there's definitely going to be a finger poke thing happen. That'd be cool.
An attempt at it, not an actual win with it. We don't want to win with it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, ideally in my mind, this would be Orange Cassidy sneaking out a victory, showing that he's wily enough to do this. But I also could see them saying, "Listen, man, you've been the international champion for
break
for how long now?
defended daily. It seems like, holy cow.
Yeah, 66 plus times, and I think I read at some point he's at like 28 defenses, something like that.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, no, so that's 66 plus with the international, 154 prior to that when it was the All Atlantic Championship. So all told, 220 days plus.
Long time.
Well, it's been since October 12th. He's had it.
October 12th, yeah, that's when he won the All Atlantic Championship and
he's
started 151.
basically twice a week in that time. Not 100% of it, but
yeah,
very often. Very often.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been crazy. Like, here, let's.
Yeah, well, they're saying 154. Like you meant. Did you say one? You said 154.
154 was for the
until March of 2023. Yeah.
That was for the All Atlantic Championship, and then that's when it got rechristened as the International Championship, and he's gone 66 days since then. But he never lost the belt. They just changed the name of the belt from All Atlantic to International.
Right.
So all told, 220 days.
Right. 158 plus 64. You got it. That's fair.
So,
and maybe we'll see some new stars on top of that. You know what I mean? Maybe some new people will come in. Not any main eventers there or whatnot, but maybe we'll see some new people come on through. That'd be kind of cool, as they usually do with the battle royales.
So here, here, All Atlantic title. Orange Cassidy defeated Pac, right? And then not counting Dark, and that wasn't a solo, that was a trios match. Then the next week he was in a trios match versus Death Triangle. And then he had the All Atlantic title 3-way. So this is one defense. We're just talking defenses here. How many times he's defended it, right? He defeated Rush and 10 in a 3-way. And then in another 3-way versus Luchasaurus and Rey Fenix. And then he defeated Katsuyori Shibata and then Lee Johnson. And then Jake Hager, QT Marshall, Trent Seven, Trent Beretta, Kip Sabian, Jay Lethal, Lee Moriarty, Wheeler Yuta, Big Bill, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett. So we're at 15. The Butcher, Dralistico, Buddy Matthews. He defended it against Gabriel Kidd at NJPW's Collision in Philadelphia, so not on Dynamite or on AEW at all. Bandito puts us at 20. Daniel Garcia puts us at 21. 21 defenses. But in that time, he's also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He's at 21 other matches, often
42 matches in 220 days.
Yeah.
Plus the one he won with, so 43.
Yeah, 43 total matches.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
That's an average of one every 5 days, basically.
I am fine with him getting a break. I love the storyline of him just being tired because he's always defending and always wrestling, but I'm also fine with him getting a break because he deserves it. So I'm just like, I'll be excited for this match. I mean, it'll just be a ton of fun if you ask me. So.
Well, and the thing is, he won't necessarily even take a break because I still feel like he'll just be wrestling every week anyways. Because the fans do like him and he's very popular and all that too, right? So
I can see him taking a couple weeks to recuperate and then showing back up again, but
that's fair.
Who knows?
Maybe he's just a workaholic.
Maybe.
Loves to work. He does not burn out. He oranges out.
I do want to, in a slightly off topic, but still sort of on topic. With the announcement, the official announcement of AEW Collision, I just want to point out, right?
Yeah.
Similarities.
Sure. Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing here. On the left, we've got the official WCW Monday Nitro logo from TNT back in the day. And on the right is AEW Saturday Collision on TNT. This Collision font is the same. It's the same fucking font. It's exactly the same. This box around Saturday versus Monday, it's very similar. They went bold on the Saturday instead of thin font on the Monday. But otherwise it's very similar. Even the AEW in a solid red instead of the traditional two-color black and gold, silver and gold color. There's no thing. And then the TNT logo, it's no longer an oval. Now it's a circle, so it doesn't take up as much space, but it coming up into that. It's this is, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Because I love WCW Monday Nitro. So I like them leaning into this whole you're just copying WCW Monday Nitro. Sure.
Okay.
Let's just do that. And I love it even more right now because it's apparently really grinding Eric Bischoff's gears right now.
Are you okay? Yeah.
And I like Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff was the architect of some of my favorite moments in wrestling, right? I get it. But he's going all out. Now he's like, AEW's not doing anything. They're just riding the success of WWE. They go, wasn't that what you did for years in WCW, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I kid you not. Eric Bischoff was in charge of WCW.
I competed against them.
Yeah, he was in charge of WCW
for 83 weeks.
Yeah, he was in charge of WCW for 3 years before he won against WWF at the time, right?
Right.
3 years, right? But that wasn't, he didn't start WCW from scratch. It was an established thing for a decade before he took control over it, right? So I'm going to say this is a little bit sour grapes right now, in my opinion. But he's like, yeah, they're just riding off the coattails. They sold out Wembley, right? Come on.
Was that officially sold out? It's officially sold out now?
It's not official. I think last I saw there was 1,000 seats available.
Wow.
But
okay.
More seats are popping up on reseller listings So we won't know. But again, I don't
Doesn't
care
matter, they're
if
still
it
sold.
shows up in a reseller listing or not. It's a sold
Right.
seat, right?
Right.
So, but last I saw, they were well over 60,000 seats sold for, and punching close towards 70,000, which is probably what they have it set up for, seat wise. I'm gonna really quickly open this pack. I actually opened it, but I'm gonna show it off. We got Angelo Dawkins.
Oh, nice.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Not bad. And thank God you don't have where she's flexing her muscles in the back. No, don't get why she makes that her taunt. Doesn't make any sense.
It would make more sense if she was
more like more cut and toned. Yeah, exactly.
Like if she was Jordan Grace. I don't know if you've seen Jordan Grace recently.
Or Jade
but if
Cargill.
Jordan Grace came out and
or Jade Cargill,
yeah, and did the back muscle taunt, it'd be one thing. But a prismatic Jinder Mahal.
Cool looking card though.
Yeah.
And then because these packs love to do not quite duplicates, but sort of duplicates, a Cedric Alexander that's not the whatever they call the ice crystal one. So
okay.
So it's not really a duplicate because the other one's a special edition one. So an interesting thing I just read, in addition to trademarking AEW Saturday Night Collision, AEW also has attempted to trademark Transfer Portal.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Transfer Portal?
Yes. Now, this might not be something super familiar to you up in Canada. In America, specifically collegiate sports,
okay,
there's this thing called the transfer portal. If you are currently playing for one college, and for whatever reason you decide you're done playing for that college and you want to go to a different college, right? It can be because they changed coaches and you don't get along with the new coach. It can be
because you're not a starter.
Because you're not the starter and you feel like you could go someplace else and be the starter.
Okay.
It could be personal reasons that you've decided you don't like living in that city anymore. Or that the academics of that college are too hard for you and you want something a little bit less strenuous, or you have to.
They don't offer your new major.
Yeah, or whatever. There's lots of reasons you can enter the transfer portal, but for whatever reason you decide you no longer want to play for that college, no longer want to attend that college, you can enter the transfer portal. At which point, other colleges have the option of trying to get you, right?
Right.
So it's interesting for AEW to bring that up. The only thing that I think it could be related to is a brand split of some sorts.
Yeah. Between
And
Collision and
There's
Dynamite.
rumor of that.
Yeah, there's been rumor of
rumor
of the brand split. And so if there is a brand split, having this formalized concept of a transfer portal where the wrestler has to request to be moved to the transfer portal and then can transfer to the other program or something, it could be a kind of unique way to handle it. You know, we've always kind of given WWE crap for their kind of scattershot approach to
just not mentioning anything. They just show up on the other brand.
Yeah, they're just like, this is a SmackDown star. Well, why is he on Raw? I don't know.
But he's here.
Oh,
Let's move on.
He's here. Oh, now we found out that there's a new rule that allows them to come to Raw up to 4 times a year. Did we say year? We meant quarter. We meant week. We meant whenever we want.
Oh.
We meant there is no brand split, except for there is, because you're on that show.
When we say there is,
We meant champions can go wherever they want. It's just champions and their crew can go wherever they want. It's just the normal people. Normal people sometimes can just go wherever they want.
Oh, but he was a free agent. We forgot to tell you guys.
Why? Listen, why are you guys so concerned with what brand this person's on, man? Just watch wrestling.
That's it. Busting our balls. God damn.
So having a transfer portal could be arguably a way for them to at least have some rhyme or reason behind brand
Also,
switches.
To get around the idea that they're copying WWE on the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not calling it the draft. But I mean, I don't know. You would think because Tony Khan's in football and all that, and in soccer. I don't know if soccer has draft trades like football and hockey do. But I imagine they do. You would think Tony Khan would still use that to his leverage since he kind of does that on his day-to-day with all his other sports stuff. And if he's using the transfer portal, I mean, that's a...
Yeah. Here's the deal. If they were to do the draft in a way that made it feel more like an actual sports draft, I don't think anyone would accuse them of copying WWE. And by that, I mean
exactly like a sports draft for sure.
Well, I think there's something that they're going to have to set up beforehand, and that is, I hate to say the phrase general managers, but that's some sort of authority figures, and then making it look like there's some sort of stake for being the dominant brand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like saying whichever brand champion has been champion the longest or something. I don't know. Come insert arbitrary deadline insert some sort of reward. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all storyline, but something like that. And then have these authority figures come out and with the first pick of the 2023 AEW draft, AEW Collision selects so-and-so, Hangman Page, and have Hangman Page come running up to the stage, you know what I mean? And have him put on an AEW Collision hat and take a photo with the general manager, or whatever. Make a big deal, make it like that. I don't know. I'm going to really quickly take a side thing I just opened another one of these packs, and I want to show you what I'm talking about weird, the WWE cards have this weird ability. I don't know if it's something with Panini, the way that they do it, but I've never seen it happen as much as in WWE cards of having sort of duplicates, sometimes even in the same pack. So these are the 4 cards I just pulled out of this most recent pack, right? So we start off with a pretty sweet Rey Mysterio, right?
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And then we have my first Ice Crystal Prism of this pack. Not first, but and it's a really sweet The Rock Ice Crystal Prism, right? And then we have a Prismatic Entrances Undertaker.
Oh, pretty cool.
And then to close out the pack, we have the regular version of the Rock card.
There might be something to that. Are you sure you haven't gotten the Prism with the regular card throughout all those decks?
I am certain I have not. in the first
Okay.
pack that I opened because I still have them in order. I got Mako Satomura, I got the Cedric Alexander, I got the Goldberg, and then I got the Triple H. So I did not get a duplicate in that, but I did later get the regular version of the Cedric Alexander, right?
Right. Okay.
So not in the same pack, but in the same package.
Right.
I got duplicates, but this is the first time in these that I have, but it's not the first time in a WWE one that I've gotten sort of duplicates in the same pack. But it only seems to happen in WWE cards. Like I didn't see that happen ever in the AEW cards I've opened. I don't think it happened in the NXT cards at all. It's these top level WWE ones that it seems to happen in. And go ahead and finish out these packs here. Julius Creed. Ridge Holland.
Nice.
A potentially someday a big deal, maybe, who knows. Green Prism of Gable Steveson.
He legit hasn't shown up since WrestleMania that year, no?
He hasn't. However, the last year, apparently, he's been in training for the Olympics. He's in Olympic trials right now.
Oh, okay.
To try to go to the Olympics, so they've given him time off for that.
That's fair.
Because, let's be honest.
Because they know that makes money.
It makes money, and it's really good promotion for them to be like,
sure.
hey, you know, Gable Steveson, Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson. You know, so, and then my final card, focus, Katana Chance.
Very cool.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so I saw those 2023 prisms at the store for the first time, and I had to get some. So anyways, we got a lot of great wrestling coming up this week. More specifically, a lot of it coming up next weekend.
Right.
But we still have Raw, Dynamite, a pre-taped SmackDown, Rampage before that. So, and these are all going to be go-homes. So I would expect there to be motion on a lot of these storylines. Not to mention NXT. I guess I skipped over NXT on Tuesday. A lot of stories. I would expect Night of Champions gets one more match announced. And it being potentially something with the women's tag, or I think the Trish Stratus versus Becky is also rumored to be announced. So that's going to be the most likely one. Putting it at 6. NXT Battleground is currently at 5. It could have another one announced. That could be the tag championships of some sort.
Right.
To get that off of them. Who knows? I do not expect there to be any new matches announced for Double or Nothing. It's at 9 right now. That's already pretty packed. But it wouldn't surprise me if some stipulations get announced, right? Specifically, like Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie, having some stipulation to it wouldn't surprise me. Having a stipulation added
no
to the
creepy witches.
Yeah, no creepy witches. There isn't a trios match on this. It wouldn't surprise me if they put a trios match on it. That's a lot of matches, but they could put one of these matches on the kickoff show. Or the trios match on the kickoff show. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they might definitely have a trios match on. Well, not a trios match, but a match on the kickoff show. I would imagine for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that's where maybe you do the fact that you don't do ROH stuff anymore It's kind of annoying because you can at least add a few extra stuff there. Because I personally have not watched an ROH show since it's been on.
I've watched some highlights, but I haven't watched the actual, because it's tough to justify paying any money a month just to watch, like, just one promotion's wrestling. Like, it was tough enough when WWE had the network where you're like, oh, let's pay $10 a month, but all I get to watch is just WWE wrestling. And then they're like, oh no, we've got these other WWE network exclusives like Ride Along or the animated storytelling one. I can't remember what it's called.
Camp WWE.
Camp WWE, yeah. Or the behind the scenes ones, or the Edge and Christian Show of Awesomeness.
Broken Skull Sessions.
Broken Skull Sessions, or all of this other stuff.
WWE 24 and all that. Yeah.
The Hidden Treasures.
Dinner for Three.
Show. Dinner for Three, exactly.
Table for Three.
Whatever. And then on top of that, they're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna throw the pay-per-views in for part of the subscription too. Ring of Honor
sold.
Yeah. Ring of Honor, you pay, I think it's only $5 a month, so it's not a lot. And I'll eventually break it down. But Ring of Honor, you pay $5 a month, and the only thing you get out of it is Ring of Honor back shows and their weekly TV show. You do not get the pay-per-views. You still have to buy those extra.
Right.
There's no other alternative programming. There's no Ride Along or Table for Three or anything like that equivalent.
Wow. So, by the way, breaking, Willow Nightingale crowned first ever NJPW Strong Women's Champion. Nightingale defeated Mercedes Moné to win the title.
Mm-hmm. It got some news earlier because both of them wrestled earlier today in the semifinals. And they were going to wrestle in the main event. And once they both won, it meant that in New Japan Pro Wrestling, a historically male show, right? Up until a year ago, New Japan did not have a women's division at all. Stardom was the closest thing, but it was a separate thing altogether. They had two black women wrestling in the main event of a New Japan Strong show. That's kind of a big deal.
True. Yeah.
I was looking at it, Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Money, and I was like, they just had Mercedes Money have the New Japan Women's Championship. This is the new Strong Women's Championship. Mm-hmm. This is their American Women's Championship. Okay. Reportedly, Mercedes Money is working now on a shorter term deal, right?
Well,
as I thought about it,
was only like 4 matches.
Yes, and now
I thought the Kairi Zane thing was like her last match, but I guess not.
I think she had one after that, but now I think she's basically on a per match deal. So I was like, I don't know if I think she's gonna win. But on top of that, and this is, I think, what won me over, is Forbidden Doors coming up in about a month. What better way to do Forbidden Door than to have AEW signed talent in Willow Nightingale as your New Japan Strong champion, women's champion, defending against a more traditional Japanese New Japan women wrestler. Like, get Kairi to come over here and challenge for the New Japan Strong belt against Willow Nightingale or something like that. So that's where I thought Willow Nightingale was the smart choice to do it. I'm happy that I was right. I easily could have been wrong because it's hard to bet against Mercedes Money, but
no, that's fair. Yeah, it's a little breaking news for you there. That's Willow Nightingale's pretty awesome, and at least she'll get to also show off that title on AEW as well, and it sets AEW nicely for Forbidden Door, like you were mentioning. So,
which also plays into it. If I'm New Japan, and I have a chance to get my name mentioned every week or so with a champion of my show on AEW leading up to this crossover pay-per-view,
right.
airing June 25th from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I do it. I get someone from AEW to have a New Japan belt on their, I'd have, is Kenny Omega still the United States champion, or did he lose that?
I don't know. I feel like they never mention it, so I would bet on that he lost it. But
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up right here. Kenny Omega is still the United States champion, 136 plus days.
oh, okay.
So if I were New Japan, I would have Kenny Omega start wearing that belt out every week for the next month, right? Leading up to whoever's going to challenge him, whether it's Will Ospreay, whether they're going to have someone like, a bigger name like Okada, someone like that come out for it. I don't know. Kenny Omega versus Kenta would be a ton of fun. Kenny Omega versus Tanahashi at Forbidden Door would be a lot of fun.
Which is the one he had? I think he had like he had 3 matches with, wasn't it? With Kenta?
Okada.
Oh, that's Okada. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's Okada. And Okada typically has been the world title, not the U.S. title, but that doesn't mean they can't have him come down face off for the U.S. title.
No, for sure. Considering their rivalry.
Yeah, bring out their rivalry. You could also have a more what's the word I'm looking for? Like a name that's not as high currently, but elevated. Someone like a Tamatanga, something like that, to come challenge. Tamatanga is still part of New Japan, if I'm correct. Yep. And so, but been kicked out of Bullet Club, so that could be a thing there they could do. I'm just looking through their list. The match that I really want to see, and I don't care if I see it at Forbidden Door or at All In. I need to see Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Right? I don't care which event they put it at. It makes sense at either one. He's a New Japan wrestler, but he's also British. I need to see that match. Tetsuya Naito would be a fun challenger for the U.S. title.
Didn't he fight Zack Sabre Jr.? I feel like they already did that. No, at last Forbidden Door. I feel like that was a thing.
Zack Sabre Jr. has not wrestled on AEW at all, if I'm correct.
I feel like,
because what happened was it was supposed to happen at Forbidden Door 1, but Bryan Danielson was not medically cleared to compete.
okay, yeah, because he did show up.
He did stare down Danielson, but it ended up being Claudio Castagnoli.
Right. Okay, that's it.
So we need, and that's the deal. We need to. It was hinted at for last year, so we need to see it this year. Is what I'm saying. But I'm fine with it being at all in either, because he's British. It also would fit. But I would love to see, you know, I mean, heck, I'm throwing out other names here. Tanahashi would be fun. I think I've said El Phantasmo challenging for the US title would be a lot of fun. He's just been kicked out of Bullet Club as well. If we really want to put Bullet Club in the whole thing, then you can have Dave Finlay challenge for it because he's the new leader of Bullet Club. So the new leader of Bullet Club versus the former leader of Bullet Club.
That could work.
Could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of ways they can go with that, but I would just like, if I were New Japan, I'd be like, Omega, I want you to start wearing that belt out to the ring every week. We need to get New Japan mentioned every
much
week.
Exposure as possible. Let's go. Yeah.
They have been having Kyle Fletcher, who's part of Aussie Open, with Will Ospreay show up on AEW TV. He was supposed to wrestle last week, but he apparently had an illness and wasn't able to. So hopefully he's feeling better here soon. But yeah, Forbidden Door is just over a month away. Part of their Canadian swing.
Yeah, they're going to freaking Saskatchewan for some reason. No, not Saskatchewan. It's even worse. They're going to... they're going to Saskatchewan out of all places. Like, but Montreal, no. That's why I had originally thought, I'm like, oh, they didn't announce a date. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, the Toronto date is, but it's so far. The Toronto date is the second one going. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll go to Montreal. I'm like, well, they have a week. And then I'm like, yeah, CM Punk bullshit. It's going to be United Center. But we'll see. Maybe they'll change it to Montreal. Doubt it.
Yeah, well, you know, I feel your pain. That being said, this new Saturday show, I told my wife this. It does open up some things. Because here's the deal. The closest they've ever came to where I live is Kansas City, which is a strong 2.5 hour drive, closer to 3 hour drive from where I'm at, down to Kansas City. But not doable. But it's a Wednesday. And I work Monday through Friday. So for me to go to AEW Dynamite and be there on time, it means I have to take at least a half day at work to drive down there, watch the show, then drive back up here so I can be at work the next day, or take another day, or take another half day or full day off, right? That's a lot of time missing work to go to an AEW show. They've also come close-ish to Minneapolis, but that's a solid 5 hours. So I would definitely have to take days off for that, right? For Wednesday. But if
that'd be like you driving to Toronto for or for
yeah, that's a 7 hour drive.
A Saturday show where I don't work the weekend, if they're in Kansas City or Minneapolis, that's doable for me. Pack the family up, rent a hotel, go down, watch the show, stay the night in a hotel. My daughter can swim in the swimming pool, have all sorts of fun. So the Saturday show opens things up for me, yes. Yeah. Also worth pointing out that that I'm certain they're going to announce that first episode of Collision
next week for sure.
Well, is going to be Chicago. I'm 100% certain that's where they're going to announce it for, because they're in Chicago Wednesday and Thursday the following week, right? Or Wednesday and Friday, I should say, the following week. or Wednesday taping for Friday, I guess is the thing. So it just makes sense for them to do Chicago Saturday and then Chicago Wednesday, right? Considering they are doing Toronto Saturday and then Toronto technically Sunday, back to back there. Then Hamilton on Wednesday and then Hamilton on Saturday. And then this is where they go off script. Edmonton and then Regina.
Right.
Regina.
It's not Regina, it's Regina.
A lot of vagina.
Saskatoon,
Phalanges.
Calgary, and then
Oh my God.
they come
They're
back.
going to Saskatoon and they haven't been to Omaha?
Yep, Saskatoon gets one. It's a dynamite.
Montreal doesn't. Fuckers.
Blame Montreal, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know why. We have like so many different arenas too. If you don't think you can sell out the Bell Center, like fuck, we had Place Bell where WWE even goes to.
That's what I say about Omaha. Omaha's got like 3 different arenas, depending on how many seats they can sell, right?
You
think you can
have
only
to go to the Quest Center.
Yeah, you think you can only sell out about 4,000 or 5,000 seats? There's an arena for you. You think you can get up to 7,000, right? Baxter Arena for you, right? Oh, you think you can get more? Quest Center,
Well,
heck,
Civic
if you
is
come
still
during-
open, isn't it?
I believe so.
Doesn't Civic still exist? Yeah.
Because you've got SoCal they could do, which is Creighton University, but
Oh yeah, it's summertime. Yeah.
Liberty First Credit Union Arena, Ralston Arena, Baxter Arena, CHI Health is the big one. There we go. Sports venues, Omaha, Nebraska. We'll do the Wikipedia page. So Baxter.
I'm still here, just going for a smoke.
Heck, there's Morrison Stadium, which is a 6,000 seat soccer specific stadium. So you could do an outdoor show during good weather.
Hate to break it to you, Smarks. No one wants to go to Omaha. Well, they just haven't come close to you guys.
Apparently, nobody wants to go to Montreal either, bud.
That's fair. You're right. You're right about that.
You think you can only sell out 3,500 seats? Lee and Helen Sapp Fieldhouse. UNO Arena, 3,500 seat multi-purpose arena. They do the Omaha Mavericks basketball there. Right?
Oh, la-di-da.
But so Baxter Arena can get up to 7,800 seats when set up properly. So you get 7,000 seats, right, man? Baxter Arena, right? You need more. You think you can sell out? Where's the number for this one here? You think you can sell out 1,800 seats? That's CHI Health Center. There.
18,000.
1,800 or 18,000?
18,000.
Okay.
You think you can do a little bit more than 3,800, but not 7,000? That Morrison Stadium set up for soccer, up to 6,000 when set up for soccer, but you can do less for concerts, right? Omaha Civic Auditorium, concerts can be up to 10,000. So if you can do more than Baxter, Civic, right? You don't think you can get up to 3,800, right? SoCal capacity just under 3,000. Right? Right? You got all sorts of options. All sorts of options here in Omaha. And that's not even counting Lincoln. Right?
I'm going to post this segment up just for Tony Khan on Twitter.
Do it.
Come to Nebraska. Here are the reasons why. We have many different venues. And then, bam, throw your numbers in. You'll be good.
I'm all for it. Do it. Anyways. But so the Saturday show does open up options, though, because I can make a weekend trip with the family and not have to use time off and stuff like that. And I can see my AEW. And frankly, Fabe might be able to too on a Saturday. I mean, it's
I'd have to leave. I could pull it off.
Yeah, he could leave early, but he wouldn't have to worry about the next day. So he wouldn't have to rush back middle of the night and show up bleary-eyed to work on Sunday.
Well,
anyways,
2 hours
pretty
in,
solid
big week.
Big week, yep. Pretty solid week. A lot of good stuff going on. Waiting for Wednesday, the official announcement that it's going to be Chicago and that CM Punk's going to be there. Because that's what it's going to be.
I don't know, man. With this whole CM Punk throwing this whole thing about, oh, I want Ace Steel there. If that whole story is true, then I would just reconsider this whole thing, man. Khan should be like, you know what, man? This is going to just continue to be an issue.
Reports have it they've talked about it and everything's hunky-dory. Everything's fine. That CM Punk reacted because he heard something and thought it was more than it was.
Okay.
And then, therefore, overreacted. But who knows?
But Khan is a businessman, and that's gonna sell like hotcakes.
He's a businessman. It's gonna sell like hotcakes. And here's the deal: as long as he didn't do anything to extend CM Punk's contract, doesn't cost him anything. You know what I mean?
No, that's it.
Like CM Punk was still under contract. He's been out injured since
like September, October.
Yeah, since Brawl Out. He was apparently injured in the match. And so Tony Khan could just extend his contract as long as he was out and say, you're going to finish this up, and that's it.
We'll talk after.
But yeah, we'll talk at the end if you earn your way back. Again, I've said this online. I've said it on Twitter. They all just need to put on their big boy pants. And CM Punk, but also including the Elite. The Elite needs to put on their big boy pants. Yep. Chris Jericho needs to put on his big boy pants. CM Punk, put on his big boy. Ace Steel, put on his big boy pants. Right?
I don't know. He still bites. I don't think he...
Put on a muzzle, too. I don't care. Just get out there and make some fucking money. Because here's the deal. Sure. If the numbers reported are accurate, which we won't know until they're ever officially announced, but there's 1.2 billion reasons for them all to put on their big boy pants and work together. Because that's $1 billion over 5 years. 1.2 billion over 5 years. That's the biggest non-WWE television contract in history. Right?
And only rivaled by, it's actually larger than the Fox one. So it's the biggest WWE contract. Biggest wrestling contract in history. Now, that said, Saudi is a billion a year or something stupid.
Yeah. We don't count
also,
Saudi.
There is, just in a quick aside, there's a lot of speculation that Fox is looking for a way out on their deal right now. Ratings haven't been what Fox expected them to be. Fox didn't mention WWE in their
schedule
upfronts at all on their fall schedule. Didn't mention them at all. And even though their deal was a 5-year deal when they signed it 3 years ago, there are out clauses based on performance that they could be trying to invoke. So we'll see, because reports have it that they're thinking about trying to get out in some way. But anyways, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. 2 hours in. We didn't get super off topic most of the night, so yay us. We'll be back in a couple nights for a game night where we will play some sort of fun wrestling games, fantasy booking, all of that stuff. Hopefully JLB will be here for that as well.
I should be, yeah.
But if you want to support us, great ways to support us is by liking, sharing, and subscribing. You can like it or follow us on Twitch for free. You can share us for free to your friends. Say, hey, go watch the show. And you can subscribe for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, or if you were one of the lucky 5 people that got Big JC's gifted subscriptions earlier tonight. Big Pimpin', Big JC. Otherwise, it's just $5
higher tier. I'm gonna go look and see if those are higher tier ones.
I don't even know.
I think they're regular.
They were tier 1.
The regular tier.
Probably tier 1. That's fine.
Ones. I don't know what that means. Like, do we have something?
You get up to tier 2, you get additional
emojis,
emotes, and stuff like that. We're a new enough channel, and a small enough channel right now that are additional emotes and stuff like that are relatively slim for tier 2 and tier 3.
Tier 3 subs, I do the show topless.
Oh, Jesus.
But once we get up to enough subscriber points, we'll unlock additional emotes and animated emotes and stuff like that. And then as we get up even higher, we'll get even more emotes. But now,
let's end this before he goes topless for free. It's
you're supposed to be trying to get me to end this, not keep me on it. Anyways, but on that note, like, share, subscribe. Follow us on all the social media. I am at Raw and Order WBU, just like it says right there. If I can get my finger in the right spot. That's on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, pretty much anywhere you see my face, except for Facebook, because it's weird that way. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent K Fabe on Twitter only.
And you can follow JLB
much there recently.
Follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/JLBTLC25, and JLB420 on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. You can also support us in great ways through either bits or tips. There are ways to do that. You can find those in the About Us section. Or our merch store, where you can buy sweet-ass merchandise. Link is in the doobly-doos for our merch stores. We got 2 of them because we're special or indecisive. It's one of the 2. So you can find those in the doobly-doos as well. But on that note, I am going to go ahead. Yes. Well, one of us got a place for us to do Sasha Bears. how can I get rid of the Sasha Bears?
That's
She's not
fair.
even Sasha anymore, and it
Monet
doesn't make
Bears.
sense for Mercedes Monet Bears. It's not quite as much fun. Anyways, but you can go to the links and the doobly doos for all of that stuff. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book. Thank you all for joining us. Thank Big JC for tossing out those gifted subscriptions. Thanks to all of those who took advantage of those gifted subscriptions. We will see you all soon.
But you can't see us now.